You've got 160,000 euro to spend on a fast four-door coupe. What to do? What to do? Well, you've come to the right place because today I've got a car just for you. This is the new Porsche Panamera Turbo. It's got a V8, 4 liters, 550 horsepower. Oh yes, and a 0 to 100 kilometers per hour time of 3.6 seconds with chrono pack. Top speed is 306 kilometers per hour and prices start as low as 150,000 euro.
Before we get to the new Panamera, a few words about the competition. Actually, Porsche wasn't the first to offer a four-door fast coupe. Mercedes-Benz introduced CLS AMG 4 years before Panamera. On the other hand, the Panamera was inspired by the 989 concept, which was supposed to replace Porsche 928 in mid-1990s. Audi RS7 Sportback and BMW M6 Grand Coupe joined the party a bit later. All cars have 4 seats, offer around 500 liters of boot space, and all have way more than 500 horsepower.
Second generation Porsche Panamera is now the youngest of the pack, and therefore it has the most modern tech, making this two-tone giant behave like a sports car. How is that even possible?
Slapping a large, turbocharged engine under the bonnet gives us sub 4 second 0 to 100 km per hour time in the dry, easy, but Porsche Panamera Turbo has an electronically managed all-wheel drive system which helps this car get moving even on slippery surface. Sure, it's not going to do a 3.6 second time, but it's surprisingly brisk.
And then a corner appears out of nowhere, through which the Panamera flies, bending the laws of physics. It's partly due to the 3-chamber pneumatic suspension, which stabilizes the car. The suspension has 3 stiffness settings, but even in the harshest of the settings, Panamera remains relatively comfortable on 21-inch rims.
Steering is electrically assisted, but Porsche knows how to do it right. I feel what the front wheels are doing. Panamera is unbelievably agile, also due to the fact this car is equipped with optional rear axle steering. It's easy to forget you're driving a car which is over 5 meters long and almost 2 meters wide. The size becomes quite obvious when front of the car already cleared the junction, but the rear is still there blocking someone's way. This is when you have to give it the welly and terrify people with the exhaust roar.
Sitting behind a wheel, the exhaust noise is just a distant growl. Panamera has great soundproofing, so at just about any speed, you can hear only hum of the engine and tire noise. At least you know why the soundproof windows cost $2,000. However, push the fun pedal deeper, and then you hear something. Although, for sound effects, it's best to sit in one of the 2 rear seats.
This test Panamera is additionally equipped with chrono pack. In my opinion, its most important feature is the little knob on the steering wheel. We've seen this in the Boxster review. You can twist it to switch between normal, sport, sport plus and individual modes. But for me, the most important part is the Sport Response button, which gives you 20 seconds of everything Porsche has to offer. Need to overtake? Press Sport Response and boom, the car is ready for action in a split second. Porsche claims Panamera Turbo accelerates from 80 to 120 km per hour in 2.4 seconds. I tried it from 90, which is the top legal extra-urban speed in Poland, to 140, which is top legal motorway speed. In normal mode, without Sport Response, it takes about 5 seconds.
After overtaking several trucks with Sport Response, I had to brake really hard. It's amazing, it's incredible how this big car can accelerate so fast and then brake as well. This should not be happening, but it is. I remember I drove the previous Panamera on a track, and this is the only reason I actually believe this is possible and that I'm not in a matrix or something.
By the way, I think a button like Sport Response should be available on all modern cars. After all, we often drive in normal or economic mode, but sometimes we just need to react quickly to the situation on the road, and flicking through several modes just takes too long.
Of course, driving fast enough for the 3-piece spoiler to deploy will cost you dearly at the pump. Porsche promises around 9 liters per 100 kilometers combined, but realistically speaking, you're looking at more like 11 or 12. That's still better than your average American V8, which will probably not go below 15 liters per 100 kilometers. With a 90-liter tank, at least you won't have to visit the petrol station every day.
Porsche Panamera is also equipped with all state-of-the-art driver aids, but I feel they are a bit more obtrusive than in a BMW or an Audi. For example, lane keeping assist makes noises which the driver doesn't want to hear. Of course, the driver must be alert at all times.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
A few words about the cockpit. Porsche is abandoning physical buttons on the center console. Engineers claim there is now 40% less buttons, and they have been replaced with a capacitive touch panel with haptic feedback. I like it because you can't really tell how many options you're missing from your Porsche.
Porsche designers also went to town with the display. This is a 12.3-inch screen, and to make it nice and wide, nice and fluid to fit the cockpit design, they got rid of the air vents on the sides. What they did instead is move the air vents down here. Now, what's the implication of this? Well, you can adjust your air vents position with a touch screen. And it's ridiculous. It's an overkill. I mean, can you spell over-engineered? Especially you can do the same thing in the back there. I mean, come on, who needs that?
Talking about all infotainment features would take me an hour, so I'll just focus on the most important ones.
Sat-nav. Now that's really cool because it takes into account not only traffic on the road, so it won't just guide you on a side road here to avoid some gridlock, but it will also take into account type of the road. This is a V8, and come on, it performs better, it uses less fuel when the roads are wide and when you can drive a bit faster. So the other day, to get me from this part of Warsaw over there to that part of Warsaw over there, so let's say from here to about here on sat-nav, we are on the right side of the Vistula River. Sat-nav decided it would be better if I take the bridge here, drive along this road here on the left side of the Vistula River, and cross it back here. This was during the weekend, so possibly it didn't have traffic information regarding what was happening here on the right side of the river, or it just decided that this road, which is 3-lane, is going to be better, faster than this single-lane road down here.
The car is connected to the internet, which gives us access to many apps, including news, weather updates, plane and train arrivals and departures.
The system is very quick and responsive. Now, I'm wearing gloves now, but generally speaking, this is what it's all about. And I really like connected drive, which is in BMW, but as of February 2017, when I'm filming this, this is the best sat-nav infotainment system out there. I'm sorry, BMW, but the stuff you put in 7 Series and in 5 Series, it's just not up to scratch.
The instrument cluster is very Porsche with centrally mounted rev counter and a digital speedo. LCDs on both sides imitate analog dials. Due to scale, 150 km/h looks like 80 in an ordinary car. On the right, two smaller dials can be replaced with a larger navigation map. Scale can be adjusted manually or automatically. Storage under the armrest is small, it contains everything you need for connectivity. I like the phone holder, you'll need it taking fast corners. And there are a couple of cup holders and of course a glove box in front of the passenger, not too big though. In the back you get two individual seats with electrically adjustable backrests. There's decent legroom and headroom, but if you want more, there's an executive version of the Panamera with 15 cm longer wheelbase. In standard Panamera, it's 295 cm. There is an armrest, a ski chute, cup holders, and of course a screen to operate air vents, blinds, etc. There's quite a lot of space between the front seats, so visibility for rear passengers is quite good. If I had to be a passenger in a Panamera, I'd like to sit in the back. Panamera is a car for quick and comfortable touring. The rich and important will probably take some basic luggage. 495 liters is an average size in this class. Boot lid, of course, is electrically operated. Sill is rather high and there are no shopping bag hooks. Probably Porsche doesn't assume Panamera owners will actually do any shopping on their own. Prices of the new Porsche Panamera start as low as €90,000 for a 330 horsepower V6. There are rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive options, a hybrid and even a diesel. This test Panamera Turbo with options costs around 180 grand.
In many cars, expensive and cheap, I find faults, but there's just nothing seriously wrong with the new Panamera. I only wonder what kind of a life I would have to lead to afford this type of a car. And would I have time to really enjoy it? And how do you like the new Porsche Panamera? Let me know in the comment section below. Share, rate, subscribe, click the links on the screen to watch more of my reviews. New episodes every Friday. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.